Okay, I think everything's running now. We got too many systems here. We have a recorder and we have a streamer for the radio guys and we have a video for the video guys. We got everything going now at once. Welcome to the show. This is fantastic. We're back on a manic Monday after a crazy, crazy weekend. Man, was it cold this weekend? I was out there shoveling even. It was pretty crazy this weekend, but we're supposed to be getting into some warmer weather, which I hope we do, man. This is too much. Holy crap. It's freezing out there. When I get up at 4:30 this morning, it was 16 degrees Fahrenheit. I don't know what that is in European measurement. Has to be below zero, I think. And barometer reading 2959. So the barometer's high, which means, high pressure usually brings in some nice weather. And we're looking out here, it's cloudy. They're calling for a little bit of snow, maybe. Who knows? I was anticipating bright sunshine today, to be honest with you. But cold weather, because when I looked out this morning, I could see stars. That usually means there's, when the sky's clear, any heat radiates up, and that's why you get the extreme cold like this. Little or no moisture in the air, 56%. So usually no moisture means no snow. In this kind of weather, when we have a lot of moisture, it drops from the sky as snow. It doesn't look too bad. I don't know. We might get some flurries. The lake effects are still going. So when you look outside, you can see that there's vestiges of winter here. It started. We know it started. So what do you have to do? Come on. Repeat after me. Take my car in and get it checked out at Wild Bill's Auto Repair and Body Shop. Why? So that you don't break down in this weather. I can't even imagine standing on the side of the road like a chimichanga because my car broke down. No, get it in there. Let Ken check it out. Make sure it's winterized properly. Make sure you got those snow tires on. Make sure you got the systems checked out. Your battery's strong. It's going to start that car every time. You have the proper antifreeze in your radiator so it doesn't freeze. You have to make sure everything's working right. If you don't, you're going to break down and then you're going to have problems. Wild Bill's Auto Repair and Body Shop. That's where you go. Ken Hunter will check it out and make sure your wintering is fun rather than disappointing. And he's on Oakwood Drive right next to the Kia dealership. No big deal to get to. It's right there. At the end of the day, go to wildbillsauto.ca, see what his website says. Check out all the different services he provides. And he has a full body shop. If you get in a wreck in these winter days because these people out there in the streets are terrible drivers, you can take it there. He's going to fix it for you. Make sure it's brand spanking new, showroom condition when he gets it back to you. And while you're at Wild Bill's Auto Repair and Body Shop, go to my Facebook page. Paul Lemire 4973 is my Facebook page. And Your City, Your Voice is the name of the show. And like it. Subscribe to it. It costs nothing to subscribe. I'm at 198. I need 2 more subscribers to hit 200. My goal was 200 by Christmas. I have like 10 days to get 2 more people to subscribe and get me to 200. So get over there, subscribe. It costs nothing. You help out the show. You get the show out there. The more the merrier. It's a big party. We have an election coming up next year. We want to make sure everything is going right. Let's get it done. Come on. Your City, Your Voice. Paul K. Lemire. Easy to find. 4680Q Radio. Internet radio. 4680Q.com is where you listen to it live every day at noon. If you miss the live show at noon, you can catch the video that I do. I do a video of the show, so you can catch that video at around 3 in the afternoon on YouTube. I have it up most afternoons by about 3 o'clock. There you go. We're all set. So it was a great weekend. Didn't do too much this weekend. It was pretty quiet. It was pretty cold out to be wandering around like a maniac. But I did get invited last night to my buddy Chopper's house. And he made up a beautiful pasta dinner with meatballs and sausages. And oh man, it was fantastic. Unbelievable. This guy can cook pasta, believe me. It was great. And Liz and I went over there with him and Breda, and of course, my friend Naomi was there, and we all had a nice dinner together. Saw each other before Christmas, which was fantastic. Christmas gets really busy; you don't see everybody like you'd like to, so we did it before, which is great. It was a fantastic dinner. Thanks goes out to them. You missed it. Sorry, it was great. Oh man, oh man, get in here and I get dry all the time. That was big last night. That was fantastic. Habs played 2 games on the weekend. I mean, it was great to watch that. All in all, a good weekend out there, even though it was pretty chilly. Meteor crater report, nada, nothing going on. Winter wonderland over there, barren, terrible, terrible looking over there, just blank with a big fence around it. But something's going to happen in March. I guess they're going to start building. So once the weather gets a little bit better, maybe they'll start doing some preliminary stuff and doing some stuff over there. I don't know. If you missed Friday's show, hey, go to YouTube and check it out, because Al McKay was in from the Property Taxpayers Alliance, and it was a fantastic show. He went through the regional budget. We talked about budgets for cities, how councils have to be more responsible. They have to take the taxpayers into consideration when they're making their decisions on these budgets. We're not an endless source of money. They're breaking us. Everybody's broke. I know it's tough out there. Tough for council to hold a budget, but you know what? It's tougher for us to hold our house. There was something like 34 million in tax arrears. People just can't afford to pay. Hey, I don't know, 4,000 homes or something in the region, something like that, 4,600 that are in arrears. Just terrible. And a lot of the stuff that we see, increases in prices on everything, are can be attributed to the budget. They drop a property tax increase of 6% on us. Don't forget, anybody leasing an apartment, their landlord's get a 6% increase, and they've got to pass it on. All the stores you see, all these stores, they get a 6% increase on their lease or their property taxes. They have to pass that on to the consumer, which is us. So everybody pays a little bit more when they raise taxes. They don't consider that. They think, oh, it's only 6%. We've heard them say it before, but it's not only 6%, because it reverberates right through the economy. And don't forget, it's not just the city who's going to up our taxes. It's the region who's going to up our taxes. It's the province that they're going to up our taxes. And it's the feds that are going to up our taxes. So it rolls. It's like a big snowball rolling downhill. And the person who gets caught up in it the most is the person at the end, which is the taxpayer, because they have to foot the bill. So it's important that you tune in, that you subscribe, that you get involved, that you be aware, you know what they're doing, so that at the end of the day, it's not as bad on us if they're really, really being stingy with our money. They're not frivolously spending our money on nonsense, which we see all the time. It's crazy. So anyway, the only thing that was decided at the just to round up with I was going to call him Big Al McKay, was talking about was they're going to send 2.7 million of a 1.5 billion dollar budget back to the police to see if they can trim 2.7 million off their budget, which is about $250 million, and it amounts to about 0.5% off the tax bill that they're going to raise taxes. I think they want to raise them like 6.81%, so they would go 6.3% if they drop 2.7 million off the police part of the budget. But we're not going to be in good shape with that. That's going to add something onto our municipal tax bill, because part of what we pay for municipal taxes has to do with what the region's handing down to us as well. I really didn't have any viewer comments. A couple of comments from Gary Wilkins saying it was a great show. Thank you very much. Al's a great guest. He knows what he's talking about. He's informed. And congratulating Al on being on the show and really being informative and telling us what's going on in the region. That's about it. Thank you, Gary Wilkins, at 8081 Slick with a bunch of numbers and letters. I can't remember them. But thanks for commenting and watching the show. And to everybody else who watched the show, thank you. Council notes. Well, there's no council notes really. There's not much more to talk about. I really went through that last Thursday and Friday. We got into some of it with Al. But I just sat thinking about this Jody Burnett thing and how I'm still perturbed about it. I'm still perturbed about the way he was treated by council. It came down pretty hard on him for filing IC complaints. He made a big point that it cost city council 170, well, not city council, it cost taxpayers, of course. See, it's all city council when they do something they think taxpayers want. When somebody's doing something they don't think taxpayers want, it's taxpayer money. Oh, they're spending taxpayer money, $177,000 on frivolous integrity commission complaints. They hammered Jody pretty good at the meeting, and you know what really makes me mad about it is that, listen, city council, and I think about this all the time. They make the rules for filing integrity commission reports or complaints. They made the rules. And then when somebody goes by the rules and files them, they get mad at them. I mean, you made the rules. Jody Burnett's going by him and you get mad at him because he spent $177,000. You know, these guys, and John Ringo Beam messaged me. He said, you know what? What's the matter with these people? And I agree. What's the matter with these people? They launched more integrity commission complaints against Carolyn Iannone back in the day and cost taxpayers thousands of dollars, not using it as a political weapon, weaponizing the integrity commissioner against one person. Now, the integrity commission is for us. If we don't think council's working in our best benefit, they're doing something that looks underhanded, or like Mike Strange did, that launched Jody's complaint, or anything else that Jody launched complaints against anything about, then that's what gives them the right to do it. But it really wasn't meant for city council to attack other city councilors. I mean, sure, you can launch an integrity commission or complaint against anybody on city council, and anybody can launch one. But it doesn't mean that it's going to go through, and it doesn't mean that it has to be launched. There's things that happen. If you wanted to launch something like this, you could do it. I could do it every week because I see so many conflicts of interest on this council. I see so many conflicts on this council all the time. Anytime they speak about real estate, land, condominiums, buildings, anything that has to do with real estate, Mike Strange should have a conflict of interest because he's a real estate agent. He's out there selling property and selling this stuff. The decisions city council make could affect his livelihood. And that's why he should declare a conflict of interest. If he doesn't, it could be an IC complaint. Anything to do. Wayne Thompson sitting on working for Menonchella at the hotels. Every decision city council makes on where to spend money could affect where he works, his employer. If they decide not to spend money in that area and spend it in the city, it could affect that area. If they decide to spend money in that area and not on the rest of the city, I mean, it could affect the rest of the city. So what he decides as far as allocating funds to projects is a conflict of interest as far as I'm concerned. Now we have Vince Cario sitting on there. He owns a restaurant in the tourist area. He owned a hotel in the tourist area. How can a guy who has a vested interest in the tourist industry and in the tourist area vote on anything to do with that. It's a conflict of interest. I mean, every week you could launch a conflict of interest against somebody if you really wanted to. Lori Lococo lives downtown. Anything they do down here might affect her. Who knows? Maybe even monetarily. I don't know. Maybe your property values go up if they build the University of Niagara Falls. Maybe restoring Queen Street makes her property values go up. That's money. It could be a conflict of interest. So you have to really, really sit down and say, what am I going to use this tool for? But to come down on any of us citizens, us taxpayers, for using it under the rules they made up, pay $500 and you can launch one and you get half back or whatever the heck it is. I mean, you made the rules. So what are you getting mad at anybody for? You shouldn't be getting mad at anyone. And then you yourself, I mean, Diodati, the mayor, Peter Angelo, Strange, Carroll, Thompson, Cal, they all sat on city council when they were launching these integrity commission complaints against Carolyn Iannone. They found it justified. And whether they're deemed uh, correct or upheld, or they're said they're frivolous and they're turned down, is irrelevant. You're still launching them. You're using the system. And it's all right for you, but it's not all right for us. Yeah, there's something fishy about this whole thing. Definitely something fishy. And for them to come down on Jody like they did, when they've used it several times against Carolyn Iannone, and like I say, you don't have to use it if you don't want. You could take somebody aside and say, listen, I think that this might be against the rules, the integrity rules that you're talking about, blah, 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 or whatever, right? And you could tell that counselor not to do it or whatever. And if she didn't, you could launch one, or you might not, or you might. Either way, but it doesn't mean because that's there you have to use it, that tool. You don't have to use it. But certainly, if you do use it, it's within your rights as a taxpaying citizen of Niagara Falls to call these guys out. For them to come down and on Jody like they did, it just bothers me even till now. It's hypocrisy. It's hypocrisy, and that they're using it against fellow councilors. That's even worse to me. That's even worse. But they do it all the time. Is it for taxpayers, or is it a weapon for them to control people? That's what you have to answer. What do you think? Leave your comments and tell me what you think about that. Is it hypocritical? Is Jody in the wrong? Maybe Jody should be launching so many frivolous, they call them. Are they frivolous? If it's his opinion there's been an integrity breach, should he have the right to launch it? They make the rules. They're there for us to use. Then they complain about $177,000 when they're blowing millions on crap. Hey, seems a little bit hypocritical to me, but that's just me. Let me know what you think. You're out there, you're listening to this. Give me your opinion on it. Okay, if you're looking for a house, you may want to start looking now as home prices have fallen to a 5-year low. That's what the real estate people are saying. Home prices have fallen to a 5-year low. The correction that they predicted back in the heady days of COVID, the hoax, in the middle of the hoax, have arrived. So if you're looking to buy a house, now might be a great time to buy it. I remember back in the middle of COVID, there were so many people looking for houses. They were bidding them up into unrealistic numbers, huge numbers. Even in my neighborhood, houses usually go for 600, 650. They were up to 900, 930,000 in bidding wars. It was ridiculous. Now they've settled back into $500,000, $600,000 range. So they're back. They're back. The bidding on them is over, it appears. The average days on the market for any house, it used to be like 2 or 3 days, and they'd be sold. If you put a house up in certain neighborhoods, they'd be sold within a week. The house sat there for more than a week without a sold sign on it. You wondered, ooh, what's going on with that house? Nobody likes it. Now it's up to 50 days, almost 2 months. The November benchmark price is 583,000, and that hasn't been seen since 2021. And Niagara, we saw about 8 years of normal increases occur within 2 years during COVID. And now it's cooled down though, only because the correction is coming. It has to, because the wages can't keep up to couldn't keep up to the prices. So they figure the price will bottom out maybe next year. Interest rates, of course, always play into the affordability factor, and there are indications that prices could still come down more into the 2020 numbers. So you never know, you never know, you never know. So stick around. If you're buying a house, keep your eyes open. Now's the time, a good time to go in there and get one. Listings themselves were not really a factor, as too many people were really listing their homes, speculating. So a lot of people back in when prices were really high were on the wagon. Oh, I wonder what I can get for my house. Let's see, if I ask 900,000 for it and somebody comes up with the money, I'll sell it and I'll move, right? So they're testing the market, but that's all done now. That's all done now. Nobody's doing that. Speculators are gone. Prices settle back into realistic numbers. It's a buyer's market right now out there if you can get them, and it's going to be for the next couple of years, maybe year or so. The correction is going to continue. Interest rates hold steady. I know they dropped the interest rates a quarter of a point in the United States. I don't think they were enough. I know Trump wanted them down at least a 0.5%. So we'll see what happens in Canada. I haven't heard the Bank of Canada doing anything right away. We'll see what they do come the new year, or whenever they're going to decide they're going to look at them again, probably in the new year. So Yo-Yo Ma up in Unionville, Ontario, crosses the floor. Now I call this guy Yo-Yo Ma, because he's a yo-yo. His real name is Michael. But Yo-Yo Ma, people in Unionville, they're mad. They're totally pissed off. Yep, they've had it with this guy already. God. He crossed the floor and became a liberal. Another alleged conservative. That's what he ran for. That's what they elected him as, a conservative. He's a Chinese national. He took a hike from the conservative side of the aisle and joined the liberals. Well, yeah, I mean, China and Carney get along great, making them only one traitor away from having a majority. That D'Entremont, or whatever his name is, over in Nova Scotia, jumped the floor, went over to the Liberals. Now we got this Yo-Yo Ma jumping up in Unionville, Ontario, like Toronto there. And now they need one more traitor to jump over, and they've got a majority. Can you imagine that? And they'll probably get it. They'll probably get it. Then they can really go to town. Now the people in Unionville are really mad. They say, "Hey, listen, we didn't vote for a liberal. We don't want a liberal running Unionville. We didn't vote for this. This isn't right. We need a by-election." They're really mad. And they're going to launch a petition to have another election. And they don't want no stinking liberal representing them. They want Yo-Yo to resign immediately and are going to protest outside his office. They want an open meeting where he can face the constituents that elected him and explain his hop over to the left-wing side. And I don't blame them. This is the biggest bunch of baloney I've ever seen. How can a guy who's with the Conservative Party just decide he's going to go over to the Liberals? He's just going to make the change. How is that? You should have to step down and run. You should have a by-election. You shouldn't be able to just go over to the other side. Who knows? Maybe they paid him to come over. I don't know what they promised him. Why would he go over? He ran under the conservative banner, unless he was a big fugazi, which he probably was. A conservative in name only, a chino, probably a chino. Thought he could get elected, and then he would switch anyway, swap a Rooney. But what about the people that donated to his campaign? They donated to him to bring conservative values and hold them in Unionville, and now he jumps over. They should get all their money back. That's fraud. He was up there lying. He knew he was going to jump. He didn't just all of a sudden decide. I mean, they can give you this baloney, but he just didn't all of a sudden decide. He ran on their platform. He used their platform to win the election. This is the biggest. This is fraud. That's what it is. He fraudulently represented his views to the people to get elected. I mean, there's allegations of him meeting with the CCP, the Chinese Communist Party. Yeah. Attending CPP events and meeting with the Chinese ambassador to Canada. We got another one up there in Ottawa. Carney's not enough. We know Carnage loves the Chinese communists. Trudeau's called them the best government ever. I mean, this is fishy. Take them down. Have a by-election to elect someone that will represent Unionville correctly, the way they voted the first time around, and let the chips fall where they may. But that's a bunch of baloney. And now they're going to get a conservative. What if the conservatives had like 147 seats? What if they paid off 30 liberals to jump over? All they got to do is get to 172. 30 liberals to jump over and be on their side. They'd have the majority, and they weren't even elected. How stupid is this? This is the stupidest form of government I've ever seen. Bar none. I don't get it. I don't understand it. I hate even thinking about it. And I try not to talk about it. But this is just so blatantly fraudulent. Just so crooked. Oh. And speaking of liberals, this shouldn't surprise anyone, especially seeing as how every EV plant in Ontario has either shut down or moved south. Sales of electric vehicles in Canada have crashed. Yep, they have. They've crashed. And that makes sense. That makes sense because nobody wants them. Nobody wants them. Some people buy them, yeah. There's a certain element that think that climate change is real. They're just going to warm up and boil them like frogs in a pot. They attribute everything to climate change in Canada, either climate change or Trump. One or the other. They blame climate change or Trump for everything. That's the way they operate. And you look outside, oh, it's cold out. Climate change. No, weather. I mean, you've seen cold weather in Canada all your life. Now, all of a sudden, it's climate change that's making it cold out? Are you kidding me? Come on. These people are whacked. But sales of electric vehicles in Canada have crashed, even though Canada now has more than 1 million electric and hybrid electrics roaming the streets right now. Well, of course. They've been being threatened. People who had gas-powered cars are being threatened that by 2035, they're not going to sell gas-powered cars anymore, and you're going to have an electric vehicle. You won't be able to buy gas power anymore. That's only the wacky government in there. I mean, Trump straightened it out in the States, so forget about that. But now they're finding they can't sell them, of course, because everybody who bought one or who's of that ilk to buy one has got it. Now they're driving it for 10 years before the battery conks out on them. So, really, there's 1 million there, but that's it. The sales have crashed after that. That 1 million represents about 4 to 5% of all light-duty vehicles registered in Canada. So 95% of the ones in Canada are still gas. Low percentage, really, most of the people I know wouldn't own one. Now, the experts have a lot of excuses. They have a lot of excuses. The only ones buying them are the environmental people. They already have them. They're not going to buy another one for a while. The experts say that Canada's zero emission vehicle rebate ended suddenly, and that's why. Well, what, you want the taxpayers to subsidize these cars that nobody wants? Why should we be paying for some guy who wants to spend 100 grand on a Tesla? Why should we be giving him money back? He's got the money to go out and buy it. That's up to him. Shouldn't give him any rebates. I mean, see, this is the thing. They're trying to force this market, and they shouldn't be. Let free markets reign supreme. If these cars can make it in the free market, they make it. If they can't, they can't. How simple is that? People want it, they buy it. If they don't want it, they don't buy it. Pretty simple way to do it. No, these guys want to throw $5,000 rebates. They want to hump the taxpayer for money for this. Always hump the taxpayer. We're kicking in so other people can buy electric vehicles. Nobody kicks in when I want to go buy a new gas vehicle. I don't get any rebates. If there's any rebates, let the manufacturers give them. They want to sell more? Let them give rebates. Not us, not taxpayers. But you know what? They're finding out that people don't want them. They can't sell more. Even with rebates, they can't sell them. There's miles of lots of these cars and trucks sitting there. Nobody wants. They closed down the plants. Stellantis, Volkswagen, all closed them down because they can't make them. So they flipped them over to hybrids, part gas, part electric, because nobody wants them. And then with Carney not being able to make any kind of a deal, the guy's useless as a what on a bull. Well, guess what? And now they're going to close the plants in Canada and move everything in the United States. And Trump says, screw that. We're not forcing anybody to buy electric vehicles. You buy the car you want. Drill, baby, drill. Open up those coal plants. Come on, let's go. Let's go. We're going to have lots of electricity if you want to drive one. If you don't, well, it doesn't matter. We're going to have lots of electricity anyway. Cut Canada out of our electric grid because they're always threatening us. Crazy. Now, Carney put the brakes on the 2026 targets, right? They set targets for every year to 2035. We want to sell this many vehicles. We want to sell this. Well, we put the brakes on them because they weren't even coming close to them. And the probable decision will be at the end of the day, they're not going to force everybody to go electric by 2035 like they were bragging, like everybody was bragging at the end of the day, right? So you don't have to go out and invest in a new EV. There's going to be gas cars around for a long time. And of course, the EV producers, they're getting crunched. They're getting hammered. So they're going to the government. Oh, please put the bonuses on. Please put the money back in so we can sell more. No, don't. Taxpayers don't want to pay for it. Forget about that. These guys better make their cars, and they may make them good and find a way to sell them without taxpayers subsidizing them. And that's about it. I mean, really, government should be involved in private enterprise. Let the EVs succeed or fail on their own. That's the way the markets work. That's free markets. They'll decide. The markets will decide what they want to drive. That's why Trump did it in the U.S. Buy the car that you want. You want to buy an EV? Go buy an EV. You want to have an OV? Go have an OV. Yeah, I mean, what the hell? What the hell? We're already $2 trillion in debt in Canada. We don't need to be giving any more money away to anybody, even though these chimichangas are giving more money to Ukraine and other places all over the world. They're whack. But when it's not your money, it's easy to spend. I mean, Canada right now is $2 trillion in debt, running at $100 billion deficit. Yeah, I mean, it's not good. It's not good. And at the end of the day, who always picks up the tab? Who always picks up the tab? You, me, Archie makes three. Hey, I want to get to my second sponsor, Pete's Pizza on Victoria Avenue. And I always like to have a nice pizza. That's my favorite food. Pizza is my favorite food. Although after last night's pasta dinner, yeah, I might change my mind on that one. I like pasta too. A pizza is mine, but the problem is it's hard to find a really good pizza. That consistently good pizza. And the way you do that is by having recipes that work. They've tried and true. They've been tested over 40 years, and that's what the Mancini family brings to Pete's Pizza on Victoria Avenue. The recipe for sauce, the recipe for crust. Now, Mike and Russ over there, they take the blend of mozzarella and brick cheese. They put it on the crust with the sauce in the right ratios. They know how to build a pizza. And that's where you get your consistency from. Now, you add fresh toppings to that, and you've got a winner every time. But they're not only good at making pizzas are excellent. They're very, very good at chicken wings and steak sandwiches and chicken parm sandwiches and poutine and steak and cheese poutine and panzerotti. They do it all. They have a full menu. You're not going to be left out when you order from Pete's Pizza on Victoria Avenue. Get your pizza today. All you have to do is dial 905-374-2222, and you got yourself a nice, hot, fresh pizza. Go to their website, Pete'sPizzaVictoria.ca. They got a full menu there. You see their menu. You can order off the website, no problem. Order right off the website. They use Dine, they use Dash, they use Skip, they use them all. No problem. Whatever you need to get it to your house, you got to do. And they'll even deliver it themselves. They get it hot and fresh. My buddy Tony near orders. He does half an hour. He's got a beautiful pizza sitting right at the door. You can't miss it. You can't beat it. Pete's Pizza Victoria Avenue. Support our sponsors. They support the show. They're really good people, good corporate citizens, and we love to support our small business in Niagara Falls. Okay, let's go down to Los Angeles for a minute here because this blew my mind this morning. To be honest with you, this is just a crazy, crazy story. The meathead is dead. And I watch every CHCH every day at 5 and watch the meathead in action. Rob Reiner and his wife Michelle apparently were found stabbed to death in their Brentwood home. Unbelievable. Early reports suggest their son, who has known drug abuse problems, was the prime suspect. Nothing's really come out official from the LA Police Department confirming that report, but sources say that it was their son. I mean, this is crazy. Of course, Reiner, the son of Hollywood legend Carl Reiner, was one of the main characters in All in the Family and the butt of Archie Bunker's jokes, playing Michael Stivic, the unemployed Polish student husband of Archie's daughter, Gloria. I don't know if you watch All in the Family, but it cracks me right up. I don't know if they could do that show today, but back in the day, it was unbelievable. And even CHCH cuts out certain things that Archie says. I don't know why. You think of the society would have grown up enough to know that those were the times. That's what happened in those days, and like it's just a sign of the times. Things change over the years, but I don't think you could make that show today. There'd be forget about it. But Archie represented everything that the left-wing liberal Mike Stivic hated about America. And funny thing is, President Trump represented that same thing to Rob Reiner. Fiction meets reality, because he hated Trump. Reiner went on to direct many well-known films, won multiple Emmys for All in the Family, and he has won Oscars. He directed some great movies, like Stand By Me, When Harry Met Sally, The Princess Bride, Misery, A Few Good Men, and this is Spinal Tap, which he directed in 1984. Big name in the industry. Yeah, he was it and stabbed to death. I mean, it's hard to believe. What kind of kid would stab their parents to death? I mean, definitely it's some kind of an issue. I can't understand why anybody would do that, but there are people who do it, and the guy was worth 200 million bucks. I don't know what the argument could have been about, or is just wired up and thing. I don't know if he lived at the house. There's not a lot of details coming out of this whole thing, but what a shocker. Rob Reiner, I loved him as the meathead. His movies were really great. You know, I mean, I didn't like his politics at all, to be honest with you. But at the end of the day, I mean, nobody wants this to happen to it. That was a shocker to me. That was a shocker. I'll be watching him tonight on All in the Family, and I'll be saying, geez, his future down the road from fame to this kind of thing. No, it's just not right. The investigation continues. Stay tuned for this murder mystery. Okay, well, it never ends in the Middle East. Syria now becoming the threat. An attack on U.S. troops in Syria over the weekend has killed 3 soldiers and 1 embedded interpreter on an ambush attack on the troops. So, Syria, who was supposed to be settled down, ISIS straightened out, and everything else, this Al Jordani is the guy leading it now. They attacked American security troops in Syria over the weekend and killed. I think they killed 3 of them and 1 embedded interpreter. They attacked them in Palmyra. The U.S. returned the fire, killing 1 of the attackers, but Syrian leader Al Jolani says the person responsible for launching it has been suspended pending an investigation of the attack. What the hell is there to investigate? Your troops killed Americans, and that doesn't usually work out good for whoever does that. Trump has given the go-ahead for a major attack in Syria, as forces and people in Syria celebrated the attack. They had him on TV celebrating these Americans killed. And with some of the troops that work with this Al Jordani or Jolani or whatever, still wearing ISIS flags on their uniforms. There's going to be severe repercussions in Syria over this one. All U.S. troops are now on standby in Syria and the Middle East, with Syria bracing for serious retaliation from the U.S. And we saw on the weekend that 2 Muslims, what were they doing? Was a Muslim shooting up Brown College, or what happened over the weekend here? Brown College, there was a shootout there. Oh, I think the one I'm thinking about, I don't know who that was. I got to look that up, but I know there was a shooting there and another one as well. But the one on Bondi Beach in Australia, where 2 Muslims went in and slaughtered a bunch of Jewish people at a Hanukkah celebration. I mean, this echoes of October 7th. Walking in and killing, I don't know how many. I read 15 dead, 27 injured, or whatever. But this is happening all over the place, and we have to be ready, because they're starting to bring the fight to us. Before, we didn't worry because they're miles away, but there's so many people in these countries under the open borders of the left-wing people, these left-wing leaders, that now they're bringing it to us. And like even with this Venezuela thing, any of these skirmishes, there's groups of people in the country already that are starting to act up and cause trouble. And if you don't think it could happen in your city, think again. Think again. They're here. They're armed. Look at Australia. Some of the toughest gun laws in the world. And these 2, a father and son, waltzed in. And I might have it written down somewhere else, I'm not sure, and just mowed down a bunch of Jewish people, civilians celebrating Hanukkah. If you don't think it could happen here, think again. This is going on around the world. It's happening in every sanctuary country that let all these people in under their government. Trump's trying to cure it, but he's been working at it for coming on a year, and they've got rid of 500,000 people. But that's just a scratch in the surface of 20 or 30 million they let in. And a lot of these people they let in are criminals. They're released from jails in their home country. They had no vetting. They're terrorists. Look at the Somalians. Look what they're doing in Minnesota. Every day now we see this, the Palestinians protesting, burning stuff down. We're seeing the corruption in Minnesota, billions of dollars fraudulently scammed out of the welfare system, the biggest welfare fraud in the history of the U.S., all sent back to Al-Shabaab in Somalia, the terrorist group. This is not good. This is what's happening. We've let them in. We've given them everything. They hate America. They're here for one thing, to leech off us. And then they're going to cause trouble. Not a good thing. Not a good thing. And it's happening daily now. We see it. So keep your eyes open. See what happens over in Syria. See what happens in Venezuela. U.S. F-18 Growlers and F-18 Hornets are zooming the coast of Venezuela now, testing their defense systems. And, they're so good, you don't even know. You see them on Flight Radar 24. You see the jets flying the coast of Venezuela, but you don't even know if they're really there because they can send out signals that are picked up looking like the jets, but they may not even be there. It's amazing. Excuse me, the technology the United States has. Over to the Epstein files. 95,000 photos have been released having to do with the Epstein files. And the only ones the mainstream media, the lamestream media, I call it, showing are the ones with Trump. Yeah, they're showing all the ones with Trump. Trump with about 5 beautiful women. Well, the guy did run the Miss USA pageant, own it. Yeah. And a billionaire playboy with beautiful women. Okay. Yeah, I get it. That seems normal to me. That's what happens with billionaire playboys. They're with beautiful women all the time. But they're showing these pictures, passing them around Facebook and everything. And, of course, they're not showing anybody else, although Clinton's in the whack of the pictures and everything else. I mean, Clinton was a perennial visitor to the Epstein Island on the Lolita Express. He's in a lot of the photos, so we're going to start seeing more of them. But yeah, all the mainstream media doing is putting out the Trump ones, of course. And you can see this is an ongoing campaign. Every day now, there's occurrences. These left-wing lunatics are undermining the Trump presidency, and they're going to keep doing it. I'm telling you, every week there's going to be something else. Shootings, everything is leading up to probably a 9/11 style of attack on the United States, all before, most likely, the midterms in next November. Every day we're going to see this. Week by week, we're going to see more and more of this, all to do one thing: undermine the Trump presidency and try to steal the House and the Senate back. It's all these radical left-wing Democrats can do. They're not going to get elected, so they're going to be pulling stunts to like this, like 95,000 photos, and I'll be releasing all the ones of Trump. Everything you see going on, Al Green impeaching President Trump again. Of course, it was turned down, but it's just these things they're doing. They're doing all the time. Now, somebody else, this other guy wants to impeach Trump. Then they're going to impeach, who the hell else? Peter Hegseth. They're impeaching everybody. But this is not going to end. It's not going to end. Every week, they're going to try to grind it down because they have nothing else. They have nothing else. The American people, 80 million of them told them no. 80 million of them people told them what Trump is doing is what they wanted him to do. We voted for this. Yes, we did. So keep your eyes open. It's going to get worse. going to get worse all the time. Speaking of carnage, all over the world these days, it seems. How about giving another 200 million to the Ukraine? Yep, at a NATO meeting, Carnage just handed over the Ukraine another 200 million. I mean, they need more military equipment to carry on the war, right? And basically, that goofball Starmer, whatever his name is in England, said that they want a war with Russia. I mean, they just tell you now. I mean, the U.S. wants to reduce military hardware in the Ukraine, and altogether, I think last August, the Canadians sent over another 680 million or something. I mean, how do you get peace with Putin and Zelensky, who is under watch right now? He's under investigation, his old government, for fraud. Now they're telling him he has to have an election. But NATO wants a war with Russia. They always have, and they're doing everything to start one that they can. It never ends with NATO. And Putin says Russia's ready. If Europe wants a war, hey, we'll give them a war. France and Britain said they would put boots on the ground if they do go to war. And Canada is in on those threats. So Canada said, hey, we're with you. They keep sending money over. And of course, Carnage's plan. It's hard to believe any of this is real. It's like you're living in some kind of a matrix world or something, some bizarro world where right is wrong and wrong is right, and weird things keep on happening. But Carney's going to enlist 300,000 federal employees. That's right. If you work for the federal government, you're going to get enlisted to join the army and arm them and send them to fight. That's what his plan is. Now, here's the problem, Carnage, Chili Con Carney. The same people that you want to send over to fight and work for the federal government, they're not even Canadians, most of them. And they have no clue what bathroom to use, the rest of them. 300,000 DEI hires are going to go over and fight a war for Canada? They're going to defend Canada? Oh man. I don't know where. Please, I know they legalized weed in Canada, but Lark Carney, you don't have to get carried away with it. I mean, if you thought Pee Wee's Playhouse was fun on Saturdays, just keep watching this government in action. Just keep watching this government in action. I'm telling you. Unbelievable. Up, it's snowing out. Look at this. We got snowage. Now, over talking about Minnesota, Trump's not fooling around with these clowns over there. Criminal Somalians are being loaded up and deported. They got 6 new Boeing planes. They're 747s or 737s or some new plane, 6 of them, just to load up with Somalians and fly them back. I said, that's not enough. You should have got 12. No amnesty, no forgiveness. They're gone. Loading them all up, deporting all the criminals. The laundromat is closed. The billions they stole from hardworking Minnesota taxpayers shipped to terrorist groups like al-Shabaab in Somalia is no more. Ilan Omar, the illegal immigrant who married her brother and lied on her immigration forms, she's going home. Get the hell out. Governor Tim Walz, who aided and abetted these criminal Somalians, also on the books to get indicted. I mean, it's over. It's over. The Deportation Express is in full flight. One-way ticket to Somalia. And if Omar was smart, she'll self-deport before she gets arrested and tried for treason and fraud and embezzlement. Trump is moving to get Omar denaturalized right away, taking her naturalized American citizenship away due to fraud and sending her packing back to Somalia. And she said she'd rather live in Somalia than the United States. Good, send her back. Documentation that she filled out fraudulently has been found. There's no question about it. She married her brother to get him into the country. It's over. And don't think this is a one of a kind event. There are probably a lot of Somalis that followed her lead to get into the country. I mean, there's Somalians right now training other Somalians how to defraud the welfare system, how to get their family into the country illegally. Now, she was worth $65,000 3 years ago, Ilan Omar. Now she's worth $30 million. I don't know where she got it. Wink, wink. I do know where she got it. But regardless, her bank account should be frozen and the money returned to Americans. That's where it all came from. You know it. She's directly connected to the biggest welfare fraud in American history, involved in sunsetting billions to terrorist group Al Shabaab. Tim Walz was also on the stage as an accessory. He okayed the fraud and is as guilty as Omar. Omar's comment: Trump should know by now that he should never pick a fight with a Somalian woman. Well, she's about to find out Somalians should not pick a fight with the American people. She's going down. The sooner the better. Get her the hell out of there. I don't know how she lasted this long, and start looking into everybody, including Rashid Tlaib and Mem Dandy and the whole bunch of them. And that is going to be a nightmare. It's already starting in New York City. It's already starting. He's going to be the mayor in about 2 weeks, January 1st. And it's already starting in New York City. It's going to be a disaster. It's going to be a disaster. I'll tell you more about that. Okay, enough of the Somalians. Think there are UFOs? Well, we're going to find out. We're about to find out if UFOs are real or they just been imagined. President Trump has been fully briefed on the UFO situation, and Trump's going to release the information, the truth regarding it. They're now called unidentified anomalous phenomena instead of UFOs, just so that you know. There's metallic orbs flying all around the earth, floating around all over the world, well documented. The age of video, the age of Facebook, the age of TikTok, the age of everything. There's something out there. They're not likely from Earth. Stay tuned in the new year for disclosure. It's going to be an eye opener, and a lot of people are going to be blown away by what's going to be revealed. And I'm going to stop today. I'm going to end the show today with just stupid people. Stupid people. The leader of the stupid is AOC. Oh, she thinks Taco Bell is a Mexican phone company. That's how dopey she is. Here is her deep thought of the day. And I quote: Donald Trump's new plan to eliminate the income tax is phobic and clearly designed to only help the employed U.S. citizen. Let me read that again. Donald Trump's new plan to eliminate income tax is phobic and clearly designed to only help the employed U.S. citizen. You know, she is sure one dumb fucker. Who else pays tax? If you're going to eliminate income tax, it only makes sense. You're going to have to eliminate from the people who are out there working and paying income tax. Who else you're going to eliminate? The unemployed, they don't pay tax. These refugees get everything for free. They don't pay tax. Who else is going to get the benefit of eliminating the income tax? I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, these people are stupid. I mean, it'd be really nice if the people actually contributed. They went out there and busted their ass like everybody else and contributed and actually took advantage and got an advantage on the income tax being eliminated for them. But no, they don't contribute. How are they going to get anything eliminated? Sure, it's only for the employed U.S. citizens. Oh, mamma mia, mamma mia. I mean, you're not going to be giving anybody a tax break who doesn't pay taxes. They don't work to pay taxes. I mean, you want to actually help those who contribute, not the ones who sit around, smoke weed all day, and watch the return of good times. Where do you think the money comes from for free? Everything that you are proposing there, AOC, you and Mem Dandy, everything's free for everybody. Where do you think that money comes from? It comes from working stiffs who pay taxes. Why? I can't. It's hard to even talk about this. It's so stupid. The economy runs because people spend earned money from jobs, not because people spend their welfare checks on drugs, booze, and cigarettes. That doesn't keep a country working. That's why socialism fails. You run out of people that are paying. They have no more money to pay. You've taken everything they've got to give everybody else who doesn't participate in the system free. Oh man, it's discouraging to read this because these people exist. They really do exist, and they're in the government, running the government. Okay, as we're going to roll through the week, we're going to get to Friday, the Diamonds or Coal show. Do not miss Friday's show, Friday the 19th. Wheels will be in here, and we're going to allocate diamonds or coal to city councilors based on their performance over the last year. Yep, that's what we're going to do. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a good show. Diamonds or coal. Now, if you have an idea of what you would give our city councilors, let's go around the horn. First, we got Councilor Victor Peterangelo, diamonds or coal. Mike Strange, diamonds or coal. Ruth Van Nieuwesteeg got diamonds or coal. Vince Cario, diamonds or coal. Lori Lococo, diamonds or coal. Tony Baldinelli, diamonds or coal, and not the Baldinelli, the MP, the conservative MP. This is the one that sits in our city council. If you didn't know, we got one. Chris Dabrowski and Mona Patel. They're your city councilors. And of course, King James the Weird, Jim Diodati, diamonds or coal. Message me. Let me know. We'll read off your awards on Friday. If you want to give us your name, that's great. If you don't, I'll just read them off. But don't be anonymous. Let us know who you are. Let them know who you are. Citizens that pay taxes that maybe aren't enamored with the way they're running the city, or maybe you are. Maybe you're going to give them all diamonds. I don't know, but you got to let me know so I can tell everybody what you think. Let's get your awards on the show. If you put your name on it, that's even better. Other than that, normal week, Trash Talking Tuesday tomorrow, absolutely on Wednesday, Straight Talk Thursday. As we run up to Friday, the Diamonds or Coal show. That gets us to the 19th. The week after that, we've got the regular Monday, regular Tuesday, absolutely on Wednesday. That's Christmas Eve. Finish that show. Christmas Day, Boxing Day, I won't be in. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, I will not be in. That whole week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 29th, 30th, 31st, January the 1st, New Year's Day, and then January 2nd is a Friday, so I won't be back till 3rd, 4th, 5th, January 5th. But I may surprise you. It's hard to stay away. I like sitting here and talking. I like sitting here and talking. Yeah, I call Councilor Nieuwesteeg a blabbermouth, but I'm sure a lot of people call me a blabbermouth too, so I'm not offended. My name is Paul Killamere. I'm done. This is your City, Your Voice coming to you live from the studios of downtown Niagara Falls, Ontario, Canada, 4680Q, right across from the meteor crater. Have a good rest of the day. We'll see you at 12 noon tomorrow on Trash Talking Tuesday. Promises made, promises kept. God bless you all. Enjoy the snow this afternoon. Hopefully we don't get a lot. I don't feel like shoveling anymore. Yeah, take it easy. We'll see you. Support my sponsors. Almost forgot that. So important to support our sponsors. Wild Bill's Auto Repair and Body Shop. Pete's Pizza on Victoria Avenue. And we'll see you tomorrow. We'll see you tomorrow. Can't get enough of that funky stuff, can you? No. Okay. We'll see you tomorrow. Guaranteed. Bye-bye. Talk to you later. God bless y'all.